You're watching a Highwire Media podcast. WWE's Bad Blood just wrapped up this past weekend, and I'm still processing everything that went down. Going into this pay-per-view, I wasn't sure what to expect. But as it unfolded, it became clear that this was much more than a standard filler event on the way to Survivor Series. WWE truly brought the heat, and Bad Blood delivered some incredible moments. So let's take a look at these matches and big moments that made this event a standout in an already stacked year for WWE. So right off the bat, we had CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. One of the biggest debates leading into Bad Blood was whether Punk and McIntyre should have headlined instead of opened the show. I can't definitely say if one choice would have been better than the other, but I can tell you this: they absolutely drained me. Their match was brutal, raw, and full of intensity. It was different from anything we've seen in a long time, and I was completely invested. As for the decision to open with them, it was a double-edged sword. The energy that they brought to the opening match made it challenging for me to stay as focused on the matches that followed. I wondered if placing them last might have preserved the flow. However, with the show's structure, I think WWE made the right call. Ultimately, it's hard to say one way or the other, but Punk and McIntyre made a powerful impact that will resonate for a long time. This show wasn't just about Punk and McIntyre. The Bloodline storyline added another chapter, with Jimmy Uso's return and an unexpected appearance from The Rock. It was an emotional moment for me, especially as someone who's followed The Rock since his early days. Seeing him back in the ring brought up so many memories, and I couldn't help but feel excited about where this is going. The dynamics between Reigns, Jimmy, and Solo were fascinating to watch. Jimmy and Roman's reunion tugged at the heartstrings, and it looks like we're in for an intriguing twist in the Bloodline saga. The Rock's return raised even more questions. Will he be back for the long haul? Are we on path to a WrestleMania showdown? It's safe to say that WWE has set the stage for some major storylines moving forward. The women's division at Bad Blood had its own moments, though my focus was still recovering from that intense opener. Bayley and Nia Jax put on a solid performance, but Tiffany Stratton's tease at a Money in the Bank cash-in stole the spotlight. She didn't follow through, leaving us wondering about her plans and whether she's biding her time for a bigger moment. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley's match was a bit confusing, to be honest. It felt rushed and didn't have the emotional weight I expected. The lack of crowd reaction and some odd production choices added to the confusion. However, this unpredictability keeps me interested in where they'll go from here. There are still plenty of opportunities for these stars to build something memorable. Another match that felt like it could have had more fire was Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. While it picked up when the Judgment Day faction interfered, the lack of real intensity between Priest and Balor was noticeable. What's interesting, though, is that the match mirrored the situation Priest found himself in not long ago, with Judgment Day constantly meddling in his matches. It seems that this match could be setting up a rift within the Judgment Day, and I think we're going to see some fallout from this on Raw and SmackDown. Could this be the beginning of the end for Judgment Day? Only time will tell, but the stage is set for some significant developments. In one of the night's more surprising moments, Triple H announced a new title specifically for Crown Jewel. While the idea is intriguing, it leaves me with more questions than answers. Will this title be a staple on Raw and SmackDown, or is it exclusive to the Crown Jewel events? There's still a lot of uncertainty around it, but I'm hopeful WWE will clarify its role in the coming weeks. Then, of course, we saw Gunther face off with Goldberg. I know not everyone's a fan of Goldberg, but I wouldn't mind seeing him back for one last match to properly close out his career. If he's game, I think WWE could give him a worthy send-off. Closing out the show, the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes showdown reminded us why Roman Reigns is the ultimate draw. Reigns was absolutely captivating. He carried himself with an aloof confidence, and his interactions with Solo and Jacob were incredible. Cody felt more like a supporting character here because that's because this segment was all about the Bloodline. Watching Roman and Jimmy team up to help Cody against their own family was a surreal moment. It felt like a full circle reunion. Now, I can't wait to see how this story evolves. Bad Blood was an emotional roller coaster, no doubt. While I wouldn't call it the best pay-per-view of the year, it was certainly one of the most memorable. The pacing was a bit uneven, but the highs were incredibly high, with the intensity of Punk and McIntyre and the emotional depth of the Bloodline story. WWE gave us plenty to chew on. What do you think? Did WWE make the right call in having Punk and McIntyre open? Or should they have been the main event? How do you feel about The Rock's return and the new Crown Jewel title? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you so much for listening and watching, of course. And let's see where this wild ride takes us next. Stay tuned, because the road to Survivor Series is only just beginning. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. You know, that shiny subscribe button right down there. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. As always, your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring new hosts, and hopefully one day take the show on the road. And hey, with your support, we might be able to stream from Survivor Series or WrestleMania or other events like Bad Blood. And your support can help make that dream a reality. Whether it's $1, $5, $20, $50, $100, your support is very much appreciated. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.